Keep yourself in the loop of everything football on the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. The latest news on and off the field, be it college football, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC to the NFL. We've got you covered. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GSMC Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Football Malinoff, and with me is Mark Ballfoot Souza.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the best I could do in that situation. We are going to talk about the Thursday Night Football game between the Chargers and the Chiefs and the outcome of it, how great the game was, and what is the repercussions of it. We'll also talk about every game that's happening in Week 15 of the season that's happening Sunday, as well as maybe some college bowl games that are also happening this weekend because college bowl games are starting. Yay.
Yeah, you're really excited about that.
I'm super duper excited.
You keep talking about it. It's like you can't sleep waiting for that.
Bowl season is one of my favorite times of the year. Actually,
are you going to be able to sleep tonight or no?
Yeah, because there's no games on today. So yeah.
I mean, your excitement level, like when a kid is excited for Christmas, it's hard for them to go to sleep.
I'm excited, but I'm still an adult, so sleeping is not an issue.
So which of those awesome bowl games is going to really get your heart pumping for tomorrow?
Probably Fresno State and Arizona State.
Oh, because that's the
Tulane,
only game where there's a ranked team?
Or Tulane in Louisiana.
Oh, boy. Who on Tulane or Louisiana are you going to look for?
Former ranked team Utah State versus a team that's not known very much.
What players are you going to be looking at tomorrow?
Players?
Yeah, what players on these teams are you going to be interested in?
Well, I believe Arizona State has one of the top wide receivers in the class.
Do they?
Of the draft. I believe so.
Oh, do you believe?
I think he declared recently.
What's his name?
If I had to guess,
N'Keal Harry?
I think so. That's his name. Probably not.
Yeah,
that sounds like a fake character.
You have fun watching those irrelevant bowl games and let me know.
I don't understand your hatred for bowl games.
I love bowl games,
but you have no love for the Cure Bowl, the New Mexico Bowl.
I just think you're trying really hard when you say that you're going to watch all 5 bowl games tomorrow. You're going to watch the AutoNation Cure Bowl, the New Mexico Bowl, the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl, the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl, and the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
I have money on each game, so why wouldn't I watch them?
You don't have money on each game. You have $50 in a pool. You don't have money on each game. Come on.
I don't know why you hate these bowl games. It's exciting for these young kids, and it's not fun.
I don't know why you hate that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Why do you hate that?
Where did that come from? Do people think they watch a sports podcast and then go right into the football podcast?
I think that Die Hard, not only is Die Hard a Christmas movie, but so is Lord of the Rings.
I just think what?
It has elves.
Oh my God.
It has a skinny Santa.
You're going to infuriate a lot of people.
Can you argue either of those points? It has elves and it has a skinny Santa.
They're not those kind of elves. They're warriors. They fight people.
Oh, so tell me about the different classes of elves, would you?
Well, if my Skyrim knowledge is anything, there's the dark elf, there's a wood elf, there's there's wood, there's dark, I believe there's other...
Santas.
Stop. Okay, whatever. Anyways,
so there's elves.
Can we talk about Thursday Night Football?
I mean, we could, but I'd like to talk about Lord of the Rings being a really good Christmas movie more. I mean, wouldn't
Explain.
You? I just did.
Well, no. Well, besides the
skinny Santa.
Okay, besides resemblance towards Santa Claus and elves, what makes this a Christmas movie?
I mean, that's pretty much all the evidence that I have. Just like Die Hard's the only evidence.
So anyone with a long white beard is just Santa.
Studies have concluded that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, even though Christmas means
That's
nothing
one
to
thing
the plot.
because it's during Christmas time. But Lord of the Rings, Christmas I don't think even exists in Lord of the Rings.
Sure it does. There's elves. What do you think they're doing when they're not fighting? They're making toys.
That's racist towards elves.
Racist?
That's elvsist. That's a discrimination against a race,
But you
which
did
is
kind of
racist.
mention that there are different
wait, no.
races of elves because
Yeah.
you said there's a wood elf and a dark elf.
That's
and
Skyrim. I'm not sure about how elves are. I'm not super familiar with all the elf
What about
species.
War of Warcraft? Tell me about War of Warcraft.
I don't play that game.
Come on.
I honestly don't.
You play it, Jeff.
I swear on my mother's life I don't.
You play. Wow.
I prefer Red Dead Redemption 2 online. I prefer if I had to pick Skyrim on. If Skyrim had online, I would play it. But I know they have an Elder Scrolls Online, but I don't play that because it's expensive.
The
And
Elder Scrolls, is that what that's called?
the series is called Elder Scrolls. They're making another Elder Scrolls. Actually, they're making a sixth Elder Scrolls 6.
Interesting.
I'm not sure they have a subtitle for it yet, like Skyrim or Oblivion, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be called something. I did play Fallout 76, and that game disappointed the heck out of me.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, very disappointing, actually.
What about last night's football game? Was that disappointing to you?
Not at all. Not at all.
You were
Chargers.
happy with the result or happy with how the game
When
went?
a game ends in a 1-point differential, I love it. That means it's a close, competitive matchup throughout the entire game. Chargers were down 14. They came back. Instead of going for an extra point to tie it at 28, go into overtime with 4 seconds left, they go for 2, do the same play they scored the touchdown with Mike Williams, and take the game 29-28. Unbelievable. They held Patrick Mahomes under 300 yards, which is actually saying a lot because he is an MVP candidate with over 40 touchdowns this season. He did score 2 touchdowns, granted, but bottom line is Chargers tie with the best record in the AFC, let alone the AFC West, and might even clinch the division if they keep winning and the Chiefs lose one.
You could say that Patrick was sent Mahomes with a loss last night.
That one's terrible. That was
I'm
bad.
taking that W, and I'm running
That's
with
an L. That's a big fat L.
If you can come up with a better joke, I'd love to hear it.
There's no joke in there.
Just come up with a better joke.
Better joke for what?
got-
What was even the
You got the rest
topic?
of this podcast. Come up with something wittier than that. So,
Better than Philip was Mahomes. Send
What?
Mahomes home. What was even
I
the
said-
joke?
I said that he was sent Mahomes last night with a loss.
That's
actually
terrible.
a really good joke.
It really isn't.
That's a nice
You should be
little
ashamed
pun.
of yourself.
That was very punny.
That's like beating a dead seal. There's no one. You think it's funny to people, but it's not.
Who would ever think that was funny at all?
People
In
that club
any-
seals.
Wow. Well, this has taken a turn.
You don't think there are
recently.
seal clubbers in the world?
There are, but I don't think they think it's funny. I just think that they're people that do it.
A likely story. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyways,
You got 50 minutes to come up with a better pun or joke. Let's continue, though. The Chargers win. They get a huge win.
I guess the
They are
Chargers
now-
bolt past the Chiefs on this one. Boom. That's already better.
You've already used that
When?
can't.
Then on this,
on our sports podcast.
I named the sports podcast. That doesn't mean that I already used it on air. I didn't use it on air.
Are you that unoriginal that you have to recycle your own jokes? You can't come up with one on the fly?
Yeah. Well, let's cut it for a second. Why being such a jerk? Huh?
What?
Yeah.
I'm not being a jerk. I'm just calling you out.
You're embarrassing me.
I'm calling you out. You got 50 minutes.
Stop it. You're
All right.
Stop it.
So the Chargers get the win. Shakes up
Jerk
the entire
face.
AFC. Now the Chiefs are looking at a wild card berth. Will they have to play every game on the road to make it to the Super Bowl? Maybe. I don't know if they'll even get that far now with that loss. What do you think?
If the Chargers get home field, they'll be playing away regardless because their stadiums get packed with opposing fans. Like there is the running joke that they play 16 away games a year due to the fact of the fan base. So I'm not sure. I think for the Chargers, I think they would rather take away Kansas City's home field than get their own home field. I think that's more crucial to them to not play at Arrowhead.
You'd still rather, even if your home field isn't a great environment, you'd still rather play there than play away.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying I think it'd be a way bigger deal for the Chargers if they don't have to play in Arrowhead because that is a hard place to play. I know they won, but it's still one of the toughest places to play.
The Chargers started off really slow last night. I think a lot of people expected that being a road team going on a Thursday night, like a short week, road team.
Well, at first they played like that.
Yeah, and then, after halftime, I feel like they really started playing well. I know the Chiefs scored.
Something definitely turned a corner.
They held the Chiefs to under 300 total yards, which is pretty incredible, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was incredible. This game is, it was the beauty of just football right there. Primetime football, last second effort. It was great. And honestly, if these two play each other again in the playoffs, I would love to see it.
Phillip Rivers had a really tough start to this game. He finished extremely well, but, man, he throws those 2 picks, one right before halftime, one on the first drive of the game. 2 terrible decisions and throws. But he recovers, and ultimately he leads his team to a win. I mean, they get the late touchdown. Of course, Mike Williams scores 3 touchdowns, which is pretty crazy, but Williams scores 2 receiving touchdowns and catches the 2-point conversion to get the win. Would you say yesterday was a breakout game for Mike Williams?
Oh, absolutely. He had a fantastic game, and he scored the game-winning touchdown, game-winning 2-point conversion. I mean, you can't get much better than that, can you?
No, and he really stepped up. Keenan Allen, unfortunately, left the game early with that. He made that crazy one-handed catch.
Which should have been a catch. I know in reality it wasn't a catch, but it totally should have been.
It was a dynamic, athletic play. Unfortunately, though, he injured himself on that play. I think he hurt his hip. He
landed pretty rough,
yeah,
that's
he did.
for sure.
And it was cold, so it's like landing on concrete when it's like cold grass
like
that.
And just there's especially with your hip, like the hip area, there's not a lot of good padding there.
Mm-hmm. And he tried to come back in. I saw him play, I think, another series. I want to say he went in for a couple snaps, but then he came off shaking his head. You could tell, but just based on his body language, that it looked like his night was done, and ultimately it was done. So do you think that the Chiefs blew it last night, or do you think the Chargers are just maybe the better team?
God, I feel like these teams are more evenly matched than people give them credit for. I mean, offensively, I'm going to give it to Kansas City, but defensively, give it to Chargers, and it just evens out on how good both these teams really are. I mean, their records are exactly the same now, and bottom line is I can't give the edge to either one.
I give the edge to the Chargers, and I say that because they are good on both sides of the ball. They have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, where the Chiefs have a top 10 offense, but definitely not a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I have to say the edge goes to the Chargers, especially into the playoffs. I mean, it makes sense that the Chargers could win in different ways in the playoffs. Like, they could win in a shootout. They could win in a defensive struggle. They have the pass rush. They have the secondary. They have the linebackers to limit teams. But then they have the quarterback, and if they get Melvin Gordon back, man, then they definitely have the offense that can run with anybody, pass with anybody. I think that they're just the better team. Kareem Hunt being a loss for Kansas City cannot be understated. What he brought to that team was a dynamic player in that dynamic offense. You lose maybe your most dynamic player in that offense, it's going to take an effect. Damian Williams performed admirably last night, but ultimately they don't have Kareem Hunt. They don't have that game breaker.
Kareem Hunt
player.
was easily top 3 running back in the league, and losing a guy like that, top 3 in any category, any position, hurts a team, and especially in a running back position where it's so crucial. So that obviously we both confirmed this was going to be a big deal, and it clearly was.
Absolutely. His loss cannot be overstated. He just clearly means so much to that offense. They're still a dynamic offense. Patrick Mahomes is still a cheat code, a human cheat code. People call him that. That first drive. Let's take that first drive, for example. Looks like he's going to get sacked on third down. He runs backwards 15 yards. He scrambles to his right, throws on the run. 5-yard completion, moves the chains. A couple plays later, he scrambles right when they're inside the 10-yard line. It looks like he's just going to throw the ball away. He waits patiently for one of his receivers to come over as he's running a crossing route. He finds them because a linebacker for the Chargers, this loses focus for a second, and Mahomes just sneaks one past him. They score a touchdown on that first drive. Mahomes, man, he's a really good player, but I do think that offense is just missing a little something, and I think we all know what that is.
What is it?
Kareem Hunt?
Who?
Kareem Hunt?
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Tyreek Hill also, I think, is hurt. He didn't look like the dynamic player.
Well, he was saying his foot was really bothering him, and especially if your main ability is speed, it's going to play a factor. I know he was just trying to help out his team, but maybe he should have sat out and just had his foot healed, because I know they're destined for the playoffs. It's already set in stone. So maybe just if I was him, maybe just wait until the playoffs. And
I saw
then
Kelvin Benjamin get involved last night. He had a catch for 17 yards.
One. Yep. And still fat.
Ouch. That's rude. Would you
True.
say that to his face?
I think a lot of people do already.
Would you say it to his face if he was right here? Would you call him fat?
If he was our guest, I would show him respect.
I thought your mother said to you, at least mine did, if you don't have anything nice, don't say it. You know?
Oh, my God. All right. Anyways, if he was our guest, I would be respectful to him, but
You wouldn't call him fat, right?
I'm sorry. There's been some posts on Instagram and Facebook that were way meaner than what I just said.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like when you're a kid and you get in trouble and you say, yeah, but Johnny did it too. So.
Well, okay, whatever. Anyways.
That's mean.
You know what Calvin Benjamin should do is shave.
Should he?
Maybe he should.
I don't know. You mean like shave his face or shave some LBs?
Oh, and you went mean on that one.
I'm asking you. You made the statement. You said he was fat.
Maybe he should do both, but mainly I say shave because the Christmas season is upon us. And looking for a gift for the man in your life is very difficult. But I got just a thing. Harry's Shave Set. Harry's makes a long-lasting quality product at a super reasonable price. German engineered blades for as low as $2 each. It's a practical gift he'll actually use. And save him money on blade refills. As a special offer for fans of this show, the GSMC Football Podcast, we partnered with Harry's to give you $5 off any shave set, including our limited edition holiday sets, when you go to harrys.com/GSMC Football. Plus, you'll get free shipping. This offer is for new and returning customers and is only available for the holidays. Each Harry shaving set comes with an ergonomic weighted handle with an option to engrave, German engineered 5-blade cartridges that provide a close, comfortable shave, foaming shave gel for a rich lather, a travel cover to protect your blades, and all wrapped up in a handsome holiday gift box. Or you just want something for yourself? Redeem a Harry's trial offer to experience the quality of shave before even committing. Remember, go to harrys.com/GSMC Football to get $5 off a shave set while supplies last. That's harrys.com/GSMC Football.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by Washington Times.
Welcome back, everyone, to the GSMC Football Podcast. We're moving on from the Thursday night game and moving on to every other game in the NFL in Week 15. Yay!
Week 15. It's the introduction of Saturday football. Not terrible bowl games that Jeff will be watching, but real professionals playing football. Exciting football. That'll be fun.
Yeah, let's. How about you list off the games for us?
I don't want to do that. You do that.
Fine. Guess. Wait.
I always have to list them off. I'd let you take the reins here. Let you do it.
Stop talking. I'm
You
gonna
did such
read.
a good job earlier.
Just stop now. Seahawks and 49ers.
Oh, God. That sounds exciting.
Well, no, actually, let's talk about Saturday's games first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Texans and Jets. 9-4 Texans and 4-9 Jets.
Oh, that sounds fun.
This is just Texans' opportunity to clinch the AFC South and to really cement their place into the playoffs.
Question for you.
Yeah.
As maybe boring as this game sounds, more or less exciting than Tulane and Louisiana on the excitement level.
You're just as exciting as Tulane versus Louisiana.
That's what you would say, or no?
No, that's what I'm saying. You are just as boring as them.
I am?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird to say, considering you said it in such a monotone way.
Because I'm about to fall asleep listening to you talk. Boom.
Yeah, well, if our listeners haven't fallen asleep already, you know. Anyways, let's talk about this game.
All right, whatever. Texans.
Jets.
The Texans lost their 9-game winning streak to the Colts last week. And they're looking to rebound. And I think facing a very weak Jets team is the perfect ingredient to bounce back to win.
Fact: if the Jets win 9 games in a row, they will be your Super Bowl champion.
But that's impossible.
Why?
If the Jets win 9 games in a row?
Sorry, the Texans. Brain fart. If the Texans go on another 9-game win streak, they will win the Super Bowl.
That makes more sense.
I think the Jets, are they mathematically eliminated?
I'm sure they are
Or is
close.
there still a chance that wrong statement could still be correct?
I'm a.
They're 4-9. I mean, obviously some crazy stuff.
I'll look. I'll look this up, actually.
No, you don't have to. No one cares. Texans. I think they get back on track. I think they win big. Give me the Texans, Jeff. Give me the Texans. I like a score of 30-13.
Wow, you're giving them a lot of credit. Giving the Jets 13 points is a lot.
All right, what do you think the score will be?
Give me 24-6 Texans.
Do you think there's any chance the Jets win this game? They are at home.
No.
Do you think Sam Darnold will get crushed by J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney?
Yeah, there's just no chance. Do we really need to explain ourselves?
No chance. No chance, he says.
No chance, Brennan.
They also said that Buster Douglas had no chance against Mike Tyson. He was 48-1.
And to answer your question, it's only two. There's only a few teams that are eliminated from the playoffs, and 2 of them are the 49ers and the Cardinals, and I believe the Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so what's the other game on Saturday, on this thrilling Saturday afternoon?
Well, we got the another actually kind of important playoff game if miracles happen. Browns and Broncos.
Miracle like a miracle on 34th Street?
Sure, why not?
Browns and who?
And Broncos.
Okay. So what's the story here? What's the storyline here that we're looking for?
Basically, the Browns do have an opportunity to make the playoffs and even win their division in the AFC North, but they need a lot of help and they need to win out.
You said Browns and playoffs in the same sentence. That's fun.
It's not totally out of the question.
It's pretty far out there, but hey, you know what? I like it. I like the hope. So, do you think this will be a boring football game, or are you expecting some fireworks? Did you see that Vance Joseph told Case Keenum to just let it rip this week? Let it rip, Case.
Let it rip, Case. Yeah, sure. Just let it rip.
Yeah, let it rip. He said,
and then he farted.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably, and then he laughed. You know, like, ha, get it, rip. Get it, Vance?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do you see? Give me a team and a score, huh?
Well, give me the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns winning this
You're
game.
going to take the Brownies?
I love brownies. Anyways, I'm going to take the Browns winning this game by a score of 18-14.
Oh, wow. How did they get to 18 points?
They go for 2, and then they score a field goal.
So they go for 2 on 1 touchdown and then kick a field goal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, on 2 touchdowns. No, they go field goal on 1 touchdown, score another touchdown, and kick a field goal.
Wait, you mean extra? Wait, hold on. You lost me here.
Okay, they get 8 points. They score a touchdown and go for 2, right?
Okay, they're at 8.
Then they score
a touchdown.
They
and
get
then
15.
Okay, so just a regular extra point in that situation.
Yes, and then a field goal.
I see. That's an interesting score. I don't know if an 18-14 has ever happened in the NFL before.
It probably has.
Which is interesting because do you know that the Seahawks and 49ers, I know we're going to get into that game in a minute, but do you know that the last time they played was just 2 weeks ago. It was 40-16. That was the first time that ever score happened in NFL history.
There's been a lot of that recently. When it was a lot of the times when you see a high scoring versus low scoring type of thing.
It seems weird though, right? Because there's been so many games,
Mm.
Like there's been so many NFL games. Like you just figure that every score has been touched.
You know, a game that can actually end in a 5-1. That's possible.
What game is that?
No, it's just possible for an NFL game to end 5-1.
Really?
You can get a 1-point safety.
How?
If you get an interception on the goal line and you run out of the end zone, from the end zone and out of the end zone and then back into it and then get tackled, that's a 1-point safety.
I don't believe this is true.
I've seen 1-point safeties happen.
This is an NFL.
College and NFL have the same rules when it comes to 1-point safeties.
Are you sure about this?
I'm positive.
1-point safety.
1-point safety is possible.
I'm going to look this up. You might be right. I want to see. I got the Broncos winning this game, though. I asked you, you said Browns 18-14. I have the Broncos winning this football game. I know that sounds weird. They just lost to the 49ers. I could be wrong here, but I am taking the home team. And I think that the defensive duo of Chubb and Von Miller can just make one or two plays that will change the outcome of this game. I like the Broncos to win this game 24-21.
24-21. Okay, that's a more of a logical score.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. We got our Sunday games now. Let's go 49ers and Seahawks since we were just talking about that. We got Richard Sherman still bashing the Seahawks recently, and they're going to get another chance.
There is a 1-point safety.
I told you.
But it's not what you said.
Oh, is it not?
A team making an extra point attempt would have had to botch the
That's
play
right. I'm sorry.
so badly they would end up in their own end zone 98 yards away and then get tackled in the end zone because that was on an extra point attempt or a 2-point conversion. The only 1 point would be awarded. Thus the 1-point safety.
And I believe a 1-point safety can also happen if they go for 2 and what I said happens.
Technically, so if you illegally bat the ball out of bounds, giving the offense a 1-point safety, you can do that as well.
Yes, but I've seen in college where the guy intercepts the ball when they're going for 2, and he runs out in the end zone out of the end zone, then back in, trying to avoid people, and then gets tackled. That's how a 1-point safety has happened. I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that can happen in the NFL.
Yeah. No. I mean. Maybe one day. All right, so you're just talking about Richard Sherman.
One day. I don't think we'll be alive to see that, but yeah. Richard Sherman has had some things to say about the Seahawks organization before this game and before the last time they played each other.
He's been highly critical. He's a talker.
Yes, but I don't know. It seems like they kind of did him dirty, it sounds like, on this circumstance.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It just sounds like he's bitter about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So what do you see in this game happening? The Seattle Seahawks come into San Francisco. Obviously, Seattle is one of the better teams in the league at this moment in time. 49ers are coming off a win. Do you see an upset here? Do you see Seattle winning this game?
I got Seattle winning this game. They're fighting for a playoff spot. The Niners are fighting for draft position. So give me the Seahawks winning this game by a score of, let's go 28-21.
28-21, huh? Yeah, I like Seattle here too. I mean, they just crushed the 49ers. I like Seattle to win 34-20. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think the 49ers can move the ball a little bit, but they make turnovers, and Seattle is good at just running the football, scoring, keeping the game under control. So that's what I see. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Cardinals, Falcons?
We can do Cardinals Falcons, a game that really means nothing.
Sure. A battle between birds right there. The red ones and the Falcons, right? The blackbirds and the redbirds. Who do you think will win this game?
Gosh.
Atlanta's favored by 9.5, which is a lot. That's a lot for a bad football team to be favored by.
Yeah, but I think it's just off how offensively superior they are to the Cardinals.
The Falcons had some problems last week on offense against the Packers. Do you think that they'll...
There's a 0.1% of a chance of a tie. Honestly, I would not be surprised if this game actually ends in a tie.
So you like the Falcons or the Cardinals here?
Give me the Falcons.
Tell me why.
Just because their offense is just so much... Like, they have so much more talent on that offensive side than the Cardinals do, and I think it's just an offensive struggle and defense struggle for the Cardinals. So give me the Falcons winning this game. Give me 24-10.
24-10. Yeah, the Falcons are at home. This should be an ugly football game. Not too many people excited about this matchup between a 3-10 and a 4-9 team. You mentioned the offense, and I agree. The Cardinals' offense is where it's just so bad. I mean, they scored 3 points at home last week. They were playing a better defense, Detroit, than what the Falcons have, but still, I like the Falcons to win this game. You said 24-10. I think we'll see a score of 23-13. Falcons win. I think they'll cover by half a point. All right, what's next on the list there?
All right, next on the list, we have another kind of not so exciting game, Buccaneers and Ravens.
That's a decent game. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's kind of it's one-sided in my opinion. That's what I meant.
Ravens are at home. Ravens are fighting for playoff spot. Their defense is great. I thought their defense played really well against the Chiefs, and I see them forcing a lot of turnovers. One thing that's really good about the Ravens is their ability to cover in the secondary. One of the best secondaries in the NFL. I think they'll frustrate Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Adam Humphries. I like the Ravens. I don't even think it'll be particularly close. I think they'll win by a score of 34-17.
24-17?
34-17.
34. Wow. Okay, so big blowout.
Mm-hmm. I like Lamar Jackson, that running game, to kind of just tear him up, to be honest.
You know what? Give me a 28-13 victory for the Ravens.
You like the Ravens as well?
Yeah.
What'd you say the score was?
28-13.
28-13. All right, what's the next game on the docket there?
Let's go Cowboys and Colts.
Okay, Cowboys and Colts. Now we're starting to get into a little bit more interesting game. Okay.
Two winning
playoff
teams. Yeah, Colts have a chance to get in the playoffs as well. Cowboys are leading their division.
This might be the best game of the morning slate, wouldn't you say? The morning slate isn't too hot on Sunday.
There's not a lot of games here that's actually hot.
Cardinals, Falcons, Lions, Bills. Oh, Packers, Bears. That's on the morning slate too. But Cowboys, Colts, I think, is the only one between two winning teams. So, okay, who do you got in this game?
Give me I know the Cowboys are on a roll, but give me the Colts. They come off that big win against the Texans. Andrew Luck's been playing extremely well. So give me the Colts on this one. Give me there are 3-point favorites in this as well, but give me let's see. Let's go 24-17 Colts.
This game might be the hardest one for me to predict, and the reason is because Cowboys' calling card is their defense, their defensive line in particular, and those linebackers. But the Colts, I know this might be a shocker to many people listening, but their offensive line has actually been one of the best offensive lines in the league this year. They've protected Andrew Luck. They've created some good running back performances by guys like Marlon Mack, Naheem Hines. So it's weird to say that after years and years of frustrating and poor offensive line performance, the Colts actually, it seems like they have figured out that position. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are on a roll. The Colts and the Cowboys are two of the best playing teams at this moment in time. The Cowboys come off that big win.
The records really don't do them justice, does it?
I think they're about
8-5, 7-6. I mean, just how they've been playing.
They both teams started off slow and they've picked up the pace. That's for sure. I know that the Cowboy. I mean, this is a coin flip for me. You said the Colts. I'm definitely going to say the Cowboys then, because I think this game could easily go either way. Cowboys on the road. I think this is a statement win. I don't think the Saints win was a statement win. This one is, because this will be a road game against a good team. And I like the Cowboys to squeak by this one. I see a very weird ending, though. I think we'll see like a 26-25 Cowboys win. I know that's a weird score. I don't know if that's ever been done before.
Maybe.
But 1 point win. I know how you like those 1 point wins after last night.
Who doesn't, really?
No, it's always fun. All right, what's next on the docket?
We got the Dolphins and Vikings.
Oh, okay. The Miami Miracle against the Vikings, huh? Minnesota Miracle?
Yeah. So we got two teams still fighting for playoff position in their separate conferences. Who do you see with the advantage in this one coming off moment? Is it momentum-wise for the Dolphins?
Dolphins have won their last two games in weird fashion. They beat the Bills when
they've gotten lucky on
they've gotten extremely lucky. Let's be honest. It doesn't mean that's a bad thing. Just luck has been on their side. Last week's Miami Miracle 75-yard touchdown to win the game. Ron Gronkowski falling down trying to make a tackle. The Vikings, on the other hand, were embarrassed on Monday Night Football by the Seattle Seahawks. They couldn't do anything on offense. They only score in the waning minutes of the game. But Minnesota's at home, Jeff. They fired their offensive coordinator. Sometimes that can kind of jolt a team. I think we're going to see a good Vikings performance. I don't think we're going to see a perfect Vikings performance. Not clean. They'll probably turn the ball over a few times. But I do see them getting the win. Although a 7.5 point favorite really scares me. I think the Dolphins will cover, but I do see the Vikings winning this game. I like them to win the game 24-20.
24-20. Okay, I can see that score happening. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go last second field goal, 31-28 victory. You know what? No.
For who?
Let's go 30-28. They're down by 1. They score a field goal to win the game. Give me the Dolphins with another miracle.
Oh, boy. The Miami Dolphins. You take the Dolphins at,
I'm honestly,
you said 30-28?
Yes. I'm starting to lose faith in Kirk Cousins, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that he won't be. I don't think he'll play particularly well, but I like their defense doing enough on Sunday.
True.
All right, what do we got next?
What we got next? Ooh.
Or maybe we should probably go to a break. Maybe.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. Before we step out, though, I got to talk to you about the holidays. And I mean, it's always hard to shop for guys. It's always hard to shop for me. For example, like my father, I never know what to get him, but I know he likes to shave. Well, I found a quality product at a reasonable price, and that's with Harry's. As a special offer for fans of the GSMC football podcast, we've partnered with Harry's to give you $5 off any shave set, including our limited edition holiday sets when you go to harrys.com/GSMC football. Plus, you'll get free shipping. This offer is for new and returning customers. Is only available for the holidays. Each Harry shave set comes with an ergonomic weighted handle, German-engineered 5-blade cartridges that provide a close, comfortable shave, foaming shave gel for a rich lather, comes in a travel cover to protect those blades, and all of this comes in a really nice-looking, handsome holiday gift box. Maybe you want to just try something for yourself and you don't need a gift for someone else. Redeem a Harry's trial offer to experience quality shave before committing. Act now, folks. Go to harrys.com/GSMC football to get $5 off a shave set while supplies last. Again, that's harrys.com/GSMC football.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by
Welcome back, everyone, to the GSMC Football Podcast. We're finishing up what our games are going to be for the Week's 15 matchups. We just finished Dolphins and Vikings, two miracle teams going at it. Now we got not-so-miracles, Lions and Bills.
Lions and Bills.
Lions and Bills and Bears, oh my.
Yeah, that's... Would you say this is the least exciting game of the weekend?
No, not as least exciting compared to Dolphins-Vikings.
Yeah, well, wait, what?
Like we said, two miracle teams, and I said not-so-miracle teams.
Oh, yeah. Who do you like in this game? Who do you got? Give
me the Bills.
The Bills?
Better defense. Defense wins games. So give me the Bills winning this one, and it's not going to be fun. It's going to be 14-7.
14-7. Yeah, the Bills, I think, will win this game. I mean, the Lions have been so bad on offense. Matt Stafford's having a terrible season. We all know they got rid of Golden Tate, Marvin Jones out for the year. The Bills have the best pass defense in the NFL. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL, believe it or not. I like the Bills at home. I think they will win this game. Give me a score of 23-16.
Wow, you're giving them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
From that game to a historical game based off rivalry.
Okay.
Packers and Bears.
Oh.
Packers
and Bears, they've really swapped. You
absolutely.
The Bears would have been 5-7-1 and the Packers would be 9-4.
Yes, but the Bears are fighting for that NFC North title, which if they win this game, I think it's set in stone.
Do you think that this is a revenge game for week 1 when they blew that huge
lead? 100%.
Okay, so you like the Bears?
I do like the Bears, and it's going to be 27-21 Bears.
It's hard to pick against the Bears after you just saw them dominate the Rams, right?
Yeah, dominate is an understatement.
That defense just crushed Jared Goff, and you kind of expect the same. You know the Packers might start 3 backup offensive linemen in this game against the Bears.
And that's
not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You said 27-21?
Yeah.
I'll actually take the Bears and go a step further. I think they win bigger than that. Give me a 30-17 win. 30-17 Bears get this W. All right, where are we going to next? Which city are we going to?
What city we're going to? We are going to the land of Cincinnati.
Oh God!
I
wouldn't pick that destination.
As the Oakland Raiders travel to face the Cincinnati Bengals for an opportunity to do nothing because this game is pointless.
Maybe this is the least exciting game. We just talked about the Lions and the Bills. I think this one might have more offense in it.
Yeah, I would have to say Redskins and Jaguars are probably up there as well.
Oh, God. There are some bad games this week.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even talked about the Redskins and Jaguars yet. Let's talk about this one. Raiders, Bengals. Okay. Raiders beat the Steelers, man. Maybe they're a team. You know, maybe they're a team to look for.
Maybe. The
Bengals were pretty impressive on the road against the Chargers. They lost, but 26-21, I thought they played well in that game.
The thing is, I have no motivation to watch this game. This game has nothing writing down. It's basically, if the Raiders win, they are losing their playoffs, or they're losing their draft spot. Bengals win, then it's just a formality of what happened.
Jeff Driscoll and the Bengals will win behind Joe Mixon. I like the Bengals to win this game. I think we'll see a score of 27-24 Bengals.
Okay, give me... You know what? I'll agree with you. Give me 27-24 Bengals as well.
They are favored by 3 points, too, so I think a lot of people may agree with us there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next game. Where are we going to next? I'm all packed up, ready to go. Where are we going?
You want to head to Florida?
I would love to. It is freezing cold outside. I would love to go to Florida.
Jacksonville versus Washington.
We're going to see... Hold on a second. Are we really going to see Cody Kessler versus Josh Johnson? Oh, my God.
The game of the century, yes.
Hey, remember, you like Josh Johnson. You said pick him up in fantasy football.
I did because the Redskins they're playing. They had a great game last week, and he's facing a Jaguars defense that is back and forth in how they play.
They're pretty good.
I know.
They gave Derrick Henry a lot of yards, but they're pretty good.
Yes, I know that.
Over under 150 passing yards for Josh Johnson. That's not a high number either.
I know it's
pretty
not.
Low.
Let me think.
Over under 150.
Give me even.
Come on.
He's getting 150.
How many is he going to get? Over under. Over under.
All right, you're just going to blow your mind. Over.
It's not blowing my mind. He might get some garbage yards. Who knows? All right, so who do you like in this game?
I cannot believe I'm about to say this.
Oh, God.
But give me the Redskins.
Oh, God.
Winning this game 24-14.
So Josh Johnson, Adrian Peterson are just going to do this thing, huh?
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars win. Ugly game. Not a lot of points. Redskins defense is good. That unit hasn't lost players, although Mason Foster on the Redskins had some interesting things to say about the Redskins. But Jaguars win ugly 20-16. That's what I see happening. What we got next? Where are we going next?
All right,
it's ready? It's funny that you said let's go to Florida and then you said Jacksonville because that's like southern Alabama.
Well, it's Jacksonville, Florida.
I know. I get it.
You ready to go to?
I wasn't excited after I heard it.
You know, we went to New York with the Jets, and I think it's time to go to another New York team.
Okay.
as the Giants play the Titans.
Okay.
And if
that's a hard one to pick.
And if I'm correct, it is in New York as well.
It is. It is in New York, where it's colder than it is here.
But the Jets in New York and the Giants and the Jets are playing the home game the same day, so that's going to be a rough time for the field staff. They have to change up everything.
Wait a minute. Say this again.
Since the Jets and Giants play in the same stadium, like they have to put all the Jets logos up there, and then as soon as the game ends,
one's on Saturday, one's on Sunday.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. I was confused for a second.
One's going to be a pain. It's going to be a pain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do you like? Who do you like in this game?
Can't believe I'm about to say this. Give me the Titans. Just kidding.
Well,
JK.
Odell Beckham's not playing.
I know. That's huge.
It just came out that he's officially not playing. He had been very questionable. I say very questionable because he was listed as
and the Titans are still playing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, this game is hard to pick, though, man. Like, even though the Giants aren't very good, I don't think the Titans are very good, you know? Like, I think the Giants are going to win this game. What do you think the score is going to be? You said the Titans. I have the Giants. Give me your score first.
You're going to be shocked by my comments here.
All right, go ahead.
31-17.
31-17.
31 points by the Titans.
I like the Giants 23-21. Giants win. It'll be ugly, but ultimately, I just don't have faith in Mariota. I really don't. Giants' pass defense is pretty good. They made some plays lately. They crushed the Redskins last week, too. We'll see what happens. All right, where are we going next? Where are we going?
Where are we going? Okay, dog, calm down. I would name my dog Mark just for that joke.
Huh.
Do you like Chicago? Wait, no, I'm sorry. We were been in Chicago. I'm sorry about that. Do you like Pittsburgh?
Only 2 games left.
Pittsburgh is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh.
We're going to Pittsburgh.
Oh, man,
Patriots.
It's too cold.
Patriots and Steelers, though.
Okay.
Which is actually pretty good.
I'll let you go.
You let me go?
Go ahead.
You let me go. Let's go. Let's do this.
Patriots or Steelers? Who you got?
Patriots, because the Steelers are on that slouch of a 7-5-1 compared to the Patriots who are still playing at a high level. So give me the Patriots winning this one by a score of 27-17.
27-17. I also like the Patriots. The Steelers are just not a very good football team. I think they're one of the most overrated teams in the NFL. Very mediocre. We tend to think of them as a better team than they are, in my opinion. They're 7-5-1. They could be 7-6-1. They're actually fighting for a playoff spot. A lot of people just assume they're going to be in the playoffs. Well, if they don't win this game, they could be in a very precarious position as they still have to play the Saints. Like, they could lose two or all 3 of their last 3. So the Patriots, although they lost last week, I like when Bill Belichick's teams lose because I feel like they always win the next week. I feel like that is – I don't have a fact in front of me or a stat, but I would bet you that their win percentage after a loss is probably 85% or better, probably 90%.
90%?
I want to know exactly, Jeff. I would actually be interested in seeing a stat of how many times a Belichick team has lost 2 games in a row. I would actually be very interested in that.
That's actually a pretty good question.
And I think the Patriots are going to win this game. That Steelers team, I think they're overrated on defense. I think they're overrated on offense. Connor's not going to play. I like the Patriots to win this game 31-24.
Okay.
Roethlisberger's also not healthy. That's another factor too. So we got one more game left.
We do. Sunday night on pay-per-view. Kidding. We have the Eagles defending Super Bowl champions versus the Los Angeles Rams of Anaheim.
Okay. This is the Eagles.
See what I did there?
Is this the Eagles' funeral?
I think they're already dead, but okay.
They're 6-7. I mean, they're right behind they're right behind the Vikings.
Yeah. Which I'm sorry. I'm just seeing.
They're a half game.
Seeing how the Eagles have played this season has been crazy disappointing.
Nobody wants that 6th seed in the NFC. You know, like no one wants that 6th seed. There's a bunch of
it's not going to be easy.
6-win teams there.
Yeah.
All right. So you like the Rams or the Eagles?
Give me the Rams. Obviously, I'm going to say 35-14.
Speaking of bounce-back games, the Rams were demoralized last Sunday night. I think that Sean McVay and this offense gets right back on track. This is a tasty matchup for Jared Goff. The Eagles' defense is one of the worst in the NFL, especially the pass defense. We saw Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott light them up last week. Who's to say that Goff and Brandon Cooks aren't going to do the same? Even Robert Woods might get in the mix. I like the Rams to win big here. I think it's going to be a score of 38-17. Rams win.
So we both see a slaughter.
Yeah, I really think that this is going to be the biggest blowout of the weekend.
I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah, I think at least a 3-touchdown win. All right, so that's all the games, right?
Yes, that is all the games we have. We're going to take another short break, but when we get back, we'll talk about other things about the world of football. When we get back to you right after this, don't go away.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the final segment of the GSMC Football Podcast. What do we got on tap for the rest of the segment as we already talked about Week 15 stuff as well as Thursday Night Football stuff?
So Carson Wentz will not be playing. He's got a fractured vertebra in his
Vertebra?
back. Yeah, vertebra.
Vertebrae.
Vertebro.
Okay, dude from the 90s.
You said vertebra or bray. I say bruh. Vertebra, bruh. Anyways,
we should stop while we're ahead.
He's got a fractured vertebra, as I've heard many times this morning by other people who don't call it bray, bro. Anyways.
What are you even talking about right now?
Listen, bro. Will Carson Wentz play again this season, yes or no?
No. If any injury that involves the back and the spine, don't mess with it. Don't risk anything. And they have no chance for the playoffs, so why risk it? I know they still have a chance for the playoffs.
Why
but
do you keep saying that like they're not a half game out of the playoffs?
Well, I'm not saying they're not. What I'm mainly saying is that they are playing at such a bad level that even if they make the playoffs, they will not get very far.
There's a chance the Panthers, the Redskins, the Eagles, and the Vikings all lose this week, which would mean anyone could literally win the sixth spot in the NFC after this week. That would be something, wouldn't it?
That would be something.
I think Wentz is done for the year, though. I agree. I just don't see how a fractured vertebra is going to heal in the next 2 weeks.
It's not. That's
right?
the thing.
There's only 3 more games in the season. Now, if they made a miraculous... Let me ask you this.
Okay.
If Nick Foles plays the next 3 games and they win, or they at least win enough to make the playoffs, does Carson Wentz start in the playoffs if he's healthy over Nick Foles? Now that, my friends, is a question. If Nick Foles leads his team to the playoffs, but Wentz is healthy when the playoffs begin, do they reinsert Wentz or do they roll with Foles? The Super Bowl MVP.
I think roll with Foles because again, fractured back is never something to joke about or to risk.
Yeah, back injuries are always tricky, you know? Fortunately I haven't suffered one myself, but I know from people who I'm close with that they're bad. They're really debilitating, you know? I think if in that scenario they'd have to roll with Foles, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
He'd be on a win streak.
Can you imagine if they did this again?
Yeah, no, it would be something. So another controversial topic, DJ Durkin. You know him as the coach from Maryland who was fired after the investigation that followed the incident where the student died from heat stroke. You remember when we talked about this?
Yeah.
DJ Durkin is now a consultant with the Alabama Crimson Tide and Nick Saban. Does this shock you at all?
A little bit. Kind of a touchy thing to mess with.
Seems weird that Saban would kind of go out there and put his neck on the line like that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a risky, high risk, low reward type of thing, isn't it?
You never know. You never know. But he will be in a consultant-like capacity. So, anyways, do you know that the Chiefs cornerback Fuller, who had the interception last night, he broke his wrist. He's out for the rest of the year. Kendall Fuller.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty unfortunate. That's another big blow to the Chiefs. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's probably their only
The Chiefs are just not
corner.
looking good going into playoffs. They're going in on crunches right now, it looks like, doesn't it?
Oh, and news just came in that Wentz is facing a 3-month recovery. So he is out for the rest of the year.
That doesn't look too good.
Jets have placed Isaiah Crowell on IR officially. It is Elijah McGuire's backfield for the rest of the year. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? I don't know how I feel about
Indifferent,
that.
it sounds like?
Yeah, I don't know how to react to that.
All right.
It's there.
So thanks again, everyone, for being with us today.
Yes, absolutely.
Come back on Monday. We'll talk about this week's action, as I'm sure we'll have some drama, controversy. You know that in England they say controversy? Controversy?
Sure.
We'll have talk about controversies that happened in the NFL over this weekend. And, of course, we'll follow up with that Monday Night Football preview. We got the Saints and Panthers, which I think people are interested to see what kind of Saints team rolls around on primetime. Since the last time they were on primetime, they were kind of beaten pretty well by the Cowboys.
True.
All right.
We'll get on that on Monday. Everyone, have a good weekend.
Jeff will give us an update on how good the bowl games were this weekend.
Yes, I will. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.